Hi, so I just wanted to make this quick little video. Really, this message just came to me, and I want to share this from a response to a video that I posted earlier in the week about, I'll link it at the end actually in case you're interested if you've not watched it, just about the energies and how it's bringing up a lot of insecurities, and it can really knock us off our feet, right? Because we can think, oh my God, I've dealt with that. But when we are going through our awakening, which many of us are going through right now, if you're watching this video, you are most likely going through your awakening, or, and I say being through because not really, because it continues, right? We continue to awaken more and more, but we can feel so alone when we go through it because, not only is it absolutely painful to realize that your whole life has been built on lies, on all of these beliefs that are not the truth. I always like to point out, in the word belief is the word lie. Do you know what I mean? This is when I start to get excited about creation, right? Because really, when we look at creation, everything's always been there right in front of our very eyes, but we haven't been able to see it because of these veils that have been put over, because of these subconscious programs. That's a massive journey that I've been on, unearthing subconscious programs. And whilst at that time in 2020, it was painful because we build our lives on these beliefs, right? And not only do we build our lives on these beliefs, but everyone in our life is attached to us because of these beliefs. So as these beliefs start to be I always think of it as the tower card in the tarot. Everything just crumbles down around us. And when that happens, what would you normally do if you're going through something difficult in your life? You've had a breakup or you've lost your job or whatever. Normally you'd go to your friends or you'd go to your family. But during the awakening, a lot of our friends and a lot of our family were either not awake or were waking up at different degrees, not to the degrees that we were awake to. So we couldn't go to them for our solace. Not only that, we found it difficult to communicate with them. And, I actually let go of a couple of friends during that period, just because we were totally on different wavelengths. And it's kind of easier to do that with friends, but you're not going to do that with your family, or most people aren't just going to let go of the family because they're not awake at the same time. But that creates tension and friction. But I've come to realize it was meant to be that way, right? It's meant to be that way for us because it teaches us a lesson as the ones that are awakening first. It teaches us to have to go even deeper into compassion, even deeper into unconditional love, which is the path that we are on as we continue to awaken. It's the path that all of humanity is treading, whether they are aware of that yet or not. We're going to be asked to, we're going to have to really go through, the whole of humanity is going through a healing, has to go through a healing, and we're going to have to be able to really forgive each other and forgive ourselves and really open up our heart space. We're all being asked to open up our heart space because the truth is, everybody in this reality has been abused, has been manipulated in many different ways. Like I say, as you go through the Great Awakening in 2020, when I was awakening and I realised all my beliefs were lies, I was so angry. I felt so angry. I couldn't understand how it could happen, and I was angry at myself for trusting all of these people, and not only that, then I couldn't talk to them. So you can feel really, really alone, but you're not alone is what I want to say, right? This is the time that you are being asked to really go on that deep relationship with your soul, to make a reconnection back to your soul, your spirit team, because you've never been alone. You've got guardian angels with you. There is so many ancestors, spirit guides, our souls that are here for us at this time, that are invested into this timeline that we are on, to anchor heaven back into earth. In order to do that, we've got to shake off all of the skins of all of the lies, all of the illusions that are not us. A belief really is more physical than a book. Let's say, like this book, which I'm going to read on my channel. Actually, it's an amazing book which talks about the golden age of miracles that we are moving into. But beliefs are more physical than the physical themselves. Beliefs are what create our reality. And not only that, it's how we actually connect to our friends, our work. So when those start to shatter, then it can mean that we no longer really resonate with certain friends as well. And we start to lose people from our lives as well. We're going through a great shedding, right? And it's like the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly. The caterpillar, as it's starting to, as it's growing up to 5 times before it gets to the chrysalis, the part where it's starting to actually liquidize to become the butterfly, which is the part that we are in now. In the Great Awakening, that's where we are in now. The beliefs are the skins that can become too tight for us. We have to let go of those beliefs. And as we let go of those beliefs, we find ourselves in a place where we don't know where we are. We go through, I went through so much of the awakening, which was rapid and sudden. It just boom came in very rapidly, very suddenly. I was being activated in 2020. I knew something was afoot before I saw any of the evidence, and it's so rapid that we find ourselves in this, like, we feel like we're in limbo. We're in a place of the unknown. We're in limbo. We don't know who we are anymore. We're losing all of the things that we identified with us. It can feel scary. It feels dark. And then when we don't have the friends or family that we can talk to about it, we feel totally alone. But there is a reason for that. And the reason for it, other than the fact that we've got to let go of those things, because we have to, in order for us to actually become the butterfly, to be rebirthed, to rise up out of the ashes like the phoenix, to be rebirthed as the butterfly, to take our wings and move up to a higher vantage point, is for us to go on that deep inner journey to reconnect back to our true soul self, our true authentic self. And it's a journey that we go on, and as we reconnect back to the true soul self, when we're going to learn some higher truths, and those higher truths are going to create a stability within us so that we can start to become the eye in the storm that is happening around us, because there is going to be probably more chaos around us. Because if you're watching this video, you are one of the not everyone is awake yet. Whilst there is a lot more people awakening at this point right now, it's really starting to ripple and more awakening. I know people are still finding in the family they're starting to awaken, but they're going to also have to go through, or most likely go through, a lot of the emotions that we went through of anger, as they start to really wake up and see. And it's going to be for us that are the front runners in this, to create that stability in ourselves, and we can not get pulled in to that their instability, let's say, but we do that by going on our own inner journey of reconnecting back to our true soul. So this is what it's asking us to do. I realised that during 2020, but I didn't go on that journey straight away, right? Maybe I didn't realise it straight away in 2020, actually, in fairness. But I was on that journey, right? I was awakening. I was feeling totally confused, disorientated, questioning everything. I was questioning everything, and actually I almost went to a place of just distrusting everything and everyone, which is also not a great place to be neither. However, ultimately I went inwards. I became a total hermit. And actually, there is a time during the awakening that you are asked to do that, really, because it is about, if you think about this world, everything about this world has kept us outside of ourselves, has kept us busy, has kept us distracted. There's always, we're either working, or we've got a party to go to, an event to go to. When we finish work, we're watching TV. Everything keeps us distracted from ourselves. So the part of the awakening, it happens, and it's not happening at the same time as everyone around us, because it's asking us to spend time alone. It's asking us to reconnect back to the true soul self. But what ultimately I found more higher truths. I always believed in the soul, I always believed in the spirit, but I realised during that awakening that I wasn't actually embodying my own soul, that most of my soul couldn't get into the body because of all of the programs, emotions, trauma. I didn't even realise that I had any trauma, because trauma is normalised in our society. So most people don't realise they've got things to move out of their emotional body in order to bring the soul back in order to really connect to the soul. But also ultimately it led me on that deeper journey of connecting to my soul and connecting to source, and finding out a new higher truths, which freed my mind, freed my body, and catapulted catapulted me onto my highest timeline. And, you know, whilst I'm still on that journey, right? Like I say, it's a journey, it doesn't end. But I look back now, and, you know, I didn't when I was in the middle of it, but I look back now and I'm so grateful for all of it. And I understand because I've connected to these higher truths and I've embodied these higher truths. Now I understand that everything that I went through, nothing is wasted. Everything served a purpose, and I had to go through that in order to actually reconnect back to my true self. And as you start to really connect back to your true self, then life, it does get easier, right? It does get I'm not saying that there's no challenges or anything like that, and there's still not, I've been on this journey for a while. I've done a lot of healing. I've completely revolutionized my life. I used to work in finance. I spent 22 years climbing the ladder, and I was successful according to societal norms. But now I'm a soul therapist. I'm completely flipped. It couldn't be more different. I've totally revolutionized my life, and I'm living a different life now. I've done that because of these events that were really my people talk about I'm doing the dark night of the soul. The awakening can feel, when you're first starting to awaken, it feels like the dark night of the soul, where, like I said, everything's been taken from you, everything's stripped down. You're having to find yourself again, right? Because the truth is, we were a programmed self, we were the ego self, and that's not the true self. So you're having to find yourself again, and it can feel like, you're like a child again. You're like, how do I find myself? Who am I? What is the reality? What is creation? But it becomes an exciting journey, right? I went on that journey, and I know that I went on that journey to birth my Reconnect program, where I guide clients through awakening, because I've been through it, and I've been through it by banging my head down many detours. But I had to do that. That was my path. I realised that I started to uncover my mission. I started to realise I'd been undercover for the first 40 years of my life. Like I say, it couldn't get more different than being in finance. I realise now that I'm a healer, that I've been a healer in many lifetimes, that I've opened up my channels through that deep inner work that I've done, and I can connect in, and I can receive messages, guidance. I can plug into the universal mind, and I'm really, really creative. And I don't say that to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so creative, but it's just because I was like, whoa, what? I had no idea. How could I not know for the first nearly 40 years of my life that I had all these creative talents, that I had all these healing abilities, that I had all these psychic abilities. And it is because we're undercover for the first part of our lives, and it's meant to be like that. And as you start to uncover the truth, as you reconnect back to source, you realise why, and you realise nothing is wasted. Everything serves a purpose, and you're going through your chrysalis right now. Think about the chrysalis period for a butterfly. It's in this cocoon, and its body's literally being liquidized. Your body's literally being transformed. That is painful, and it takes a lot of energy as well. So during this time, we've really got to be kind to ourselves, loving to ourselves, and also make a commitment to ourselves to go on that journey. Because the sooner that we do make a commitment to go on that journey, the sooner we're going to start getting our wings, and we're going to start to fly. And still, when you're doing that, right, you're going to be around a lot of people that are still walking around as a caterpillar, bumping their heads on the floor, but you can look at them with more compassion and just hold more space for them. Like I say, without being sort of pulled into the many, many dramas that they're going to go through, until they go through their awakening as well, until they start to go in and find source again and reconnect. So anyway, I just wanted to make this message to say that you are not alone. You are not alone, and it can feel so hard when you're going through that awakening, but your soul takes you through that. You are lucky. You are lucky if you are going through the awakening right now. It might not feel like you are lucky, but you are lucky. I thank my lucky stars. I am so grateful that I am awakening at this time. I am so grateful that I can see the truth, and I'm no longer having to get pulled in to all the bullshit that is out there. When you go on this journey, it's going to be about everybody, right? everybody, if you are awakening, your soul has a higher timeline for you. Everybody has a heaven on earth that they can anchor into this reality, because that is the timeline that we are moving on to. I'm going to do a video on heaven on earth. I haven't done it yet. I'm partway through making it, so I am going to release a video on what the heaven on earth timeline is, but that is the timeline that we are anchoring in. And what I wanted to say as well is that you are a hero. You are a hero for being here at this time and doing this work, because not only are you doing this work for yourself, but you are clearing out your ancestral line as well. So you are doing all that work by healing yourself. You heal your whole bloodline, and you actually make it easier for your family. So if you are the one in your family that is leading on this, if the rest of your family are asleep or not really awake, and you are the one leading on this, then know that you are a hero. You are a brave soul that said, I can do this. I'm going to come into this family, and I'm going to be the one that awakens, and I'm going to be the one that clears out the path and makes it easier for those to follow. Oh, and I just want to say, if you look in the description below, I give away week 1 of my Reconnect program free. And it's a 1.5 hour energy transmission and activation, and then a meditation. And week 1 in its own is healing, and the rest of the program comes with a 21-day money back guarantee as well. It's an 8-week program. It's powerful. It's the journey that I have been on. I realised basically all of my life, and it's the best of, to get you to that place of centered, of healing on an accelerated pace. But if you can't afford that right now, then like I say, you can get week 1 free. But also, if you look on my playlist, I did release my week 2 and week 3 from my first Reconnect program, which I did last year. Whilst this year I've done it again in April, and it has gone up a level. Even I was a bit shocked by what was coming through. But the one that I did in October was also really, really powerful as well. So I'll release that for free on my channel, on one of my playlists. I can't remember what it is, but it's a playlist about meditation. So you could do week 1 of this for free through my link below, and then you could also go onto my playlist and do week 2 and 3. So even though they're not the same as what I'm doing in the new one, I still cover some of those things. And like I say, they're still really powerful, particularly week 2, which was the inner child healing, which everyone needs right now. So you can also do that as well.